Okay, so I think we're ready to go. Welcome to yoga. Happy Monday. Wonderful to see you guys. So we have our fun bolsters tonight. I think we will use them and start on our backs. So we'll just kind of place the edge of the bolster just at the base of the spine, and we can slowly release the body. And if for any reason this doesn't feel comfortable, another option would be to just place the bolster underneath the knees. That might feel nice as well on the low back. So try it out. See if it feels supportive tonight. We'll get our music all ready. Good. So we'll begin to settle into our practice tonight. And actually, as we're here, we each have a washcloth and, I think I'm just going to put it on you guys. An eye pillow. Good. So we continue to settle into practice. Just noticing this space that we're in tonight. Noticing the temperature of the air. We notice the sound of the music. We start to notice the physical body as we lay here supported on our yoga mat. And we just start to tune into that breath, inhaling and exhaling. We'll take our first few moments just to notice ourselves, notice this practice we're entering into. If at any time you feel uncomfortable, feel free to move into a space that feels better for your body. I know we all will be looking different and have different body experiences, so please go into the spaces that you need tonight. And as the eyes are closed, we start to feel heavy in the body, relaxing the fingers, relaxing the toes. So we start to bring that awareness to crown of head. We again begin to tune into this slow breathing, inhaling nice and deep, exhaling nice and slow. Letting go of any tension in the facial muscles, the shoulders, the hips, the knees, the ankles, the toes. And with each exhale, just releasing the day, letting go of any mental stress or worry, tucking those to-do lists underneath our mat. And giving ourselves that permission to be here tonight in our yoga practice. Enjoying our bodies, enjoying our health, enjoying our movement. And again, as we bring that awareness into the forehead space, with each exhale, we'll begin to take inventory of the body. So sending that breath, that awareness through the eyebrows, behind the eyes. Just touching in with the temples, wrapping the breath around the ears. Noticing the cheekbones, wrapping breath around the nose and the lips. If it feels comfortable, opening the mouth, extending the tongue just for a moment even. And then gently releasing, maybe placing the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. So the lips can part, the jaw can kind of hang and relax. And then continue sending your breath through the front of the neck, wrapping around the sides of the neck. Just imagine this breath moving from the mouth through the body. Wonder what that might look like inside the body tonight. As we touch in, sending breath over the shoulders and down the arms, through the wrists and the fingers. Just noticing the entire body, how left and right sides might be holding differently. And as we start to draw in, once again, we'll move that breath up the arms underneath the shoulder space. And starting to wrap the breath around the torso, we notice the collarbones, the sternum. We notice that deep opening of the heart as we're resting on the floor on our bolsters. And as the mind starts to wander, as we start to have conversations in the mind, we always make that space, but we use that as a tool to remember to come back into the breath. So maybe saying, I am thinking, I'm going to come back into this sensation of inhaling and exhaling. And as we continue exhaling, sending breath through the rib cage, into the mid-center, we notice the hips and the belly. And we start to really focus on this rise and fall of the belly center, of the rib cage expanding, contracting, the diaphragm lifting and releasing. Just sending this life force throughout the entire body, nourishing, healing, calming it all down. And just take your time. We start to exhale again. Let's move through the hips. We start to wrap the breath through the pelvis, the pelvic floor, the sit bones. Just notice with each exhale how everything starts to calm down a bit, the physical, the mental. Another deep inhale when you're ready, and we start to send that breath again down the legs, wrapping around the thighs, over the knees, through the calves. We notice the shins, we notice the ankles. We start to check in with the feet, the arches, the toes. See if there's any tension or pain, or maybe there's lots of space already tonight. And as we stay here, we begin to deepen the breath even more. We might begin to count into the breath. So on your next inhale, let's invite some numbers into the mind as we begin the inhale, counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going if you can. Take a small pause at the top. And as you're ready, exhale. Try to find that same counted number. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just keep going, releasing every last drop of breath. And then again, inviting the breath in. Try to make it slow and long and deep. And you might forget your number, and that's okay. Just come right back in as soon as you notice. Find the exhale. Relax into it. There's no need to be perfect. We just practice together. And what's beautiful about this breath practice is that we can bring this with us into our lives, into our day, our work, our conversations, our relationships. We use this breath to ground and center. And it's really always here for us. So we take our time to get super familiar and comfortable in this space. Honoring your body, respecting this time, this practice. And just being here, unwinding after a busy day. As you're ready, we'll begin to reach the arms overhead. If the legs are crossed, we'll gently release and straighten through the toes and the fingers, just coming into a full body stretch, maybe rotating wrists, pointing, flexing toes, see how it feels. And then we'll slowly exhale, sweeping the palms back into the belly. Let's place one palm on the navel, one palm on the heart. And we'll start to draw and lift the knees towards the ceiling. We'll allow the heels to find the floor. We might gently untuck the pelvis so the spine is really long. We might even just tuck those shoulders again. And if that pillow falls off the eyes, no worries. Keep it on as long as you want. So again, we tune deep into breath. Let's feel it into the belly this time. Relax the head, release the eyes. Let go of that tension in the jaw, the shoulders. Inhale, drawing in, and then exhale, releasing. And in this space, let's invite an intention for our practice. Is there anything that comes to mind that you'd like to work on or focus on today? We might dedicate our practice to someone who isn't able to be here. We make it simple and easy, so as the mind starts to wander and take us into different conversations, we can use this easy word, this easy phrase, this easy color to come right back into this space. I'm here in my yoga practice. I am breathing. I am practicing self-care and mindfulness tonight. Whatever it is for you, take another deep inhale, fill the belly. And we'll start to exhale, releasing those palms nice and wide, as far as you can to either sides of the body, palms facing the floor. We can spread the fingers wide, the toes nice and wide. Feet can be hip-width apart or together. And then we start to send those knees over to right side. Allow the body to just fall and sink. If you need some support, feel free to grab a block that's nearby. You can place that block underneath the knees if it creates any tension in the low back for you to be in this space. So just keep thinking, how can I be the most comfortable and supported? And we'll just use our props to get there. As we continue inviting breath, inhale, relax the eyes. Exhale, let's press through the palms. We gently engage the belly center, lift the knees through center, and then head over to opposite side, allowing the knees to fall. Again, playing around with how wide the legs are. It might feel really nice to come even wider. It might feel better to have the knees stacked on top of one another. See what feels good for you. Invite the breath in. And release the breath out. As we next inhale, we'll fill and reset. We'll press through the palms, gently engage through belly center, lift those knees. We'll head back over to right side. And you choose your pace tonight. We might feel okay increasing the pace, so making it a bit faster, side to side rocking. You might like to just keep it really nice and slow. Just doing our best to match the breath. We'll inhale to one side, exhale to the other. Or exhale through center. Find the inhale as you find the floor. Find some pattern. We might come back to our counted breath if that helps us to stay focused on the mindful breathing. And again, we just keep bringing it back into this space as our mind will draw us into later tonight or events that happened earlier today or this past weekend. Acknowledge what comes up. Just keep bringing it right back. Inhale, filling. Exhale, releasing. And as you next find your way over to left side, take your time as you get there if you're over on the right. And we'll just keep rolling ourselves off the bolster. We'll find the palms on the floor. We'll connect those knees, hips. And we'll start to just press ourselves out of the earth. And let's stay on our bolsters. We're going to use these to lift the hips and find a seated posture tonight. So stacking nice, maybe crossing the ankles, maybe keeping knees nice and tall. Let me just find a space that feels comfortable and easy for the body to be in. And we all have a blanket as well. If you want more height, you can always choose to make it even higher. We'll just stack. So whatever the knees are needing. And then we'll just stack the spine. We'll retract the chin, roll those shoulders. We might close the eyes or just find that focus spot on floor. Relax the fingers, the toes. Let's release the palms away from the thighs and we'll gently sweep them around the room. We'll gaze towards the ceiling opening, front of neck. And then exhale, palms find each other, just releasing back to heart. We're going to come through this posture, this flow a few times. So take your time spreading the fingers wide and then releasing, matching the exhales. The palms come together. Inhale as if we're collecting the breath, drawing it into the body. Exhale, palms to heart, we just gently release. Inhale again, take your time. Noticing the shoulders, noticing the elbows and the wrists. And as we take one last sweep, we'll keep the fingertips at the ceiling and we start to tip side to side. Allow the neck to kind of fall with the shoulder. And we might find a few focus spots if you have a tendency to get dizzy, or we can even close the eyes. Coming back to that breath, inhale one side, exhale other side. Allow the belly to really fall and fill as you inhale and invite the breath in, and then exhale, either relaxing belly or gently engaging. And as we come to opposite side, whichever side you're on, we're just going to place the palm to floor. We'll start to tip over. And we can keep the wrist on floor if the elbow can find the floor. And then we can even use our blocks for a little height. See what feels good. You can make them really tall. You can stack them. Just see what kind of better allows you to open up into the heart. And then really let go of the side of the neck. We'll start to exhale. Let's bow into that front knee. And then we'll inhale. Let's open back to ceiling. Big hug towards the sky. Exhale, sweep it forward. And if this is too deep for you, too much, just go a little bit smaller. Maybe you keep it nice and tight here and you keep the spine a little taller. And we keep matching that breath. Inhale, opening. Exhale, releasing. As we start to open, next round, we'll just take a pause. We'll press through the palm and start to lift through center, making our way to opposite. If you have those blocks, we can take a moment to bring them with us so we feel nice and supported and balanced. Releasing the side of the neck, reaching through fingertips. And then as we did on the other side, we'll start to bow into the knees, allow the body weight to fold forward. Inhale, we'll open, big hug towards the sky. And then exhale, releasing. Feel that openness in the hip, in the rib cage. Again, each side might be different, so feel free to adjust. Maybe the legs want to be a little wider. Maybe you need to come off of the bolster completely, so just go into that space if that's what you need. Gonna let go of the neck, the eyebrows. And just one more closing towards the knee. And as we unwind, we'll just start to lift and stack again. Palms can find the the knees, and we'll start to just roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Let's roll them back. We'll open the heart. And again, we'll lift tall. And exhale, release. Feel free to close those eyes or find the gentle spot on the floor. Just think about releasing all of the sticky spots in the shoulder, in the upper back. We may spend a lot of our time kind of hunching forward, so this is a really nice opening. So just enjoy. You can make it bigger. You can even roll those shoulders and lift the hands. Let's see what feels good. Let's take one more rotation back. Then as the palms find the knees, we'll take a pause. Let's lift shoulders back to ears, squeeze into face. And then as we roll shoulders forward, release the facial muscles and just open the upper spine, that space between those shoulder blades. Feel it opening nice and wide. Keep drawing the breath in. And then exhale, releasing breath out. Remember, the point of tonight is to go really slow and stay super mindful in your body, in your breath. Just keep bringing the focus back into the space on your mat. Don't worry about anyone else. Use this time to tune into yourself. Exhale, release. Good. One more roll of the shoulders, and we'll just release when you're ready. Palms stay at those knees. Inhaling, eyes to ceiling, open the neck. Exhale, release, tuck the chin. And then again, inhale, lift and lengthen. Fill the belly space, and then exhale, let go of the back of the neck. Good, a couple more rounds here. As we start to Release the chin this next time. We'll take a pause and start to send the head over to right side. Take a nice inhale, open side of neck. Exhale through the center, over to opposite. Again, find the inhale through the nose, fill the belly, and then release through, over to opposite. So find that really nice rhythmic pattern, opening and closing. Think about reaching through the crown of the head as deep as you can. Relax the eyebrows, relax the jaw. Just allow the body to guide you where it needs to go. You can always hang out in any space a little bit longer if that's what you need. As we head over to opposite shoulder, either side, wherever you are, we'll take that pause. Let's tuck the chin a little deeper. Same side fingertips reach around. We'll grab onto the base of the skull and just open a little bit more. We might lift a little bit taller through the heart, lifting through the rib cage. Try not to hold the breath. Keep it moving. When you're ready, slow release of fingers. Sweep the head through center, over to opposite, tucking the chin, and then wrapping the fingers, dropping shoulder away from ear, just going a little deeper. Keep inviting breath in. We might come back to that counted breath as well if that's helpful. And we'll slowly let go, sweeping through center. Inhale, stack the spine. Let's inhale, we'll peek over the left shoulder. We'll rotate the torso. Think about shoulders following the eyes. And we might even begin to press the palms slightly into thighs as we lift a little taller. We'll find a focus spot to rest the eyes on. As we exhale, we'll gently unwind the spine. Let's head over to opposite. So eyes will move nice and far. The shoulders follow. We might even press into thighs. And then continue to breathe as we lengthen tall. Relax the shoulders. And just one more round just like that. Take your time. Winding and unwinding. Over to opposite when you're ready. And as we slowly release this next time, we start to dive forward. So we'll connect the fingertips. We may use those blocks. If you want to come off the bolster, you can. See how it feels. So we'll connect into the floor wherever is available. We can use elbows, we can use blocks. So it might feel better just to release the head. Or if you are feeling like bowing deeper, you can use the blocks to open underneath the shoulders, release the head. Allow the weight of the body to tip a little deeper into the knees. And remember, you can always adjust. If you go too far, come back out. Or maybe you play with going into those deep spaces and just using the breath, even if there's a little bit of a dull, achy sensation. Just think of trying not to go into the pain. Go to that nice supportive feeling. Then as we start to inhale, we'll lift and lengthen. We might take our blocks with us if we're using those and head over to your left side. We'll bow the chin. We'll start to tuck and release the heaviness of the body. Come back to your breathing. Inhale, fill, exhale, release. As you're ready, we'll press the palms. We'll walk our way. We'll take our blocks, if you're using them, over to opposite side. And just find your way into that comfy space, bringing lots of awareness into the side of the rib, the hip, the knee. And just reminding yourself to come back to that breath, relaxing the eyes, releasing the jaw. We might bring that mantra, that intention to mind. Remembering why we showed up today and why this practice is important to us. And as we start to inhale, we'll come back through center space. We'll just pause and release one more time, releasing into your deepest space, maybe walking fingertips a little bit further. Even if you're on the blocks, we'll find the tippy, pinky tops of the fingers on the floor, and then we'll kind of teepee the palms away. So as if we're powering up the arms, having two long bridges on either sides of ears, and then releasing the head and reaching the heart towards the floor. Again, this might be too intense, so try it out. Come out if it's too much. Find a space that feels good. And as we rest here, we stay here with the body. We just release the palms so they can relax. Palms nice and flat, fingers spread. And with the palms facing the floor, I'll be offering adjustments, slow pressure on the back, or just adjusting your knees throughout our practice. If you prefer not to receive adjustment tonight, feel free to place the palms towards the ceiling so I know to give you your space. And as always, you can always change your mind. Just let me know as I approach. Let me know if you'd like more pressure, less pressure. And then we'll slowly start to press those palms. We'll roll the spine. We'll come back to stack. And let's just reach behind to remove our bolster. We'll make some space to reconnect into floor. And we'll start to draw those knees into the heart center. We'll really root the sit bones. We'll roll the shoulders. Let's just draw those knees nice and tight. We might find the toes on floor. And we'll kind of tuck the fingertips underneath. We'll wake up the arms. Let's release the shoulders. And we just start to feel the spine here. So think about really tall spine. And then big belly breaths at the same time. So make the room. If the feet need to be wider, you can make the room so the belly can move. And we may practice just lifting one foot. See how that feels. We'll rotate. And let's release this foot. We'll inhale opposite side. So working into that balance a little bit. And then again, opposite. And remembering those arms. Good. Relaxing shoulders. And then we'll send the weight back a little. See what it feels like just to balance on the sit bones. Notice if the spine starts to curve. If you need hands behind, you can always support yourself. Maybe even release the toes again. And then as we exhale, let's cross our ankles, palms to sides. We're just going to stack shoulders over wrists, open the heart, and press the palms into floor. It doesn't matter how high you go, but we'll think about lifting the hips off. And then we'll reconnect. We'll come right back in and find the balance. Lifting nice and tall, reaching through crown. And pointing, flexing. We'll cross ankles again and just finding the floor. Using that breath, big exhale as you lift. And then inhale, release. Let's start to extend our legs nice and long. As we inhale the palms to heart, we'll reach the fingertips towards ceiling and just start to dive towards the legs. However feels comfortable, tuck the chin, release the neck. And then use the belly breath. Think about just softly sinking. Good. So you can always use blocks too underneath the knees if it feels a little better to have a little support even. Or just bending into the knees, wide or together. As we inhale, we'll lift and lengthen. Let's sweep the arms around open, heart center, palms back to the heart. And as we reach to the side, we'll have a yoga strap close by, I think. And so we'll just reach for yoga strap and then tuck it around the toes so we can start to point and flex. And just make sure that the strap buckle is out of the way so we don't hit ourselves as we roll back. So we'll get there, but we're going to start to forward fold here. So flexing and pointing feet as we wake up the legs. And then as we find that flex position, let's play with lifting kneecaps, engage the thighs. Just feel that contraction, lift nice and tall. And then we'll relax the legs, release those heels. Let's walk ourselves forward. Tuck the chin, bow into the legs. And then tune back into that nice deep breath. Remember, it doesn't matter how flexible we are. We just go into these spaces and practice. Become more familiar. And as we inhale, we'll lift and lengthen. Let's stack the spine. We'll hold a little tighter. We'll lift the eyes. Tip back just gently. And then exhale, release back in. We'll pull and fold. As we inhale again, we'll start to lift and lengthen. And we'll start to bend those knees. Let's draw the heels into the groin. Allow the knees to fall out to the sides. So you can always have blocks underneath the knees as well in this one. So we'll draw the heels deep into groin. We'll lift as tall as we can. And then we start to bow forward. Let's start with that flat back and just see how that feels. And then when you get to that point where your hamstrings are stopping, you will start to roll and bow the head towards toes. And then use the breath to go into these deep spaces. Imagine breath moving from mouth through body, into the hamstrings, into the pelvis. We relax the eyes and the forehead. We allow ourselves to open and let go. As we continue forward folding, we'll stay in this space, but we'll start to send body over to left side. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Really stretch as wide or long as you can through the neck and the shoulders. And then sweeping our way through the center, we'll start to find the opposite side. And again, you can make this big or small. If you need, use the blocks to walk yourself over if it's too much to hold on to the band. So remember, support yourself and just take care of what you might need tonight. And taking a nice deep inhale on each side, filling the belly, and then exhale, releasing. Good. As we come through the center, we'll start to stack again. And let's just close the knees. We're going to gently scooch towards the top of our mat, and then make sure that buckle's out of the way so you don't hit yourself. So we're just going to roll back onto the spine. Rock and roll between the hips and the shoulders, as if we're kind of massaging left and right sides. And as always, you can root into the low back if that feels like it's too much for you. Just kind of open and close into this space. And then whenever you're ready, we'll find the spine on the floor. The feet find the ceiling. We'll start to point and flex again as we did seated. And just opening and closing the arches of the feet, working into the Achilles and calves. We'll start to release our right leg to floor. And maybe just shaking into the leg so it knows to let go. And then using both hands on the strap will allow left leg to fall to left side. So with control, feel free to bend into the knee and help guide your way through. Feel free to just find stillness, or if you want to create a little more space, see what's there by pedaling through and using the strap to guide the weight of the body. Maybe just kind of opening and closing too. You can allow that right hip to peel off. And then when you're ready to find that stillness, let's just make sure that left arm is as long as it can be so the upper body can relax. Good, just make those adjustments. The right fingertips can reach to right side. We may even gaze towards the right hand. Again, invite the inhale and then the exhale. Inhaling again, we'll start to unwind. So engage the belly gently, maybe bend into that knee as we sweep the leg through center. We'll use both hands again to shift over to opposite side. So allow the body to come into that really nice spinal twist. Again, in this one, you can always use the bolster or the block. And then make sure that arm is nice and long. Relaxing the eyes. As we come back through center, let's draw this left leg back. And we'll just connect the toes. We're going to head over to opposite sides, so releasing the leg. Just taking your time, we'll start to guide over to the right side. So just as we did on the other, we'll allow the knee to bend if needed, maybe kind of exploring, kicking through the heel. Just noticing how everything is sitting tonight. Find your stillness and then readjust the hands so the arm can be as long as possible. Allowing the upper body to relax, reach through the left fingertips. We might even gaze towards that left side. Invite the breath in through the nose, releasing through the mouth. Just give yourself permission to unwind and let go. Enjoy your body, your health. As we prepare to unwind, we might engage belly, gently bend into knees, sweep your way over. And then connect both hands, allow the body, or the right leg to fall. We'll reach out with the right fingertips again. And then we might kind kind of gaze towards that side. Allow the hand to be nice and long. Another deep inhale as we reset. We'll come back through center. Let's draw both toes again into the yoga strap. We can point and flex a few rounds. And then we'll draw the knees out to sides. We'll draw the heels into groin. We'll grab a little bit deeper. We can start to rock side to side, massaging into this space. As we melt the shoulders, relax the eyebrows. Refresh the breath. And then we'll find that stillness. We'll release our yoga strap to side. And then we'll start to roll over to the right side. Just find the knees and the hands, and we'll start to lift ourselves out of the floor. We'll start to find ourselves on our knees, on our hands, stacking, and just gently releasing, untucking toes. So if there's any knee pain, feel free to give yourself some cushion on maybe the blanket, or even if you need more, onto the bolster tonight. So we stack wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And then we'll move right into those cat-cows as we roll the shoulders, drop the belly, lift the eyes. Big exhale, let's tuck the chin, roll into the spine, press into palms and knees and tops of feet. And then again, we'll inhale, lift and lengthen. Feel free to close into the eyes or find the focus spots so you can really tune into your body tonight. Releasing any tension, letting go of anything you're holding on to physically, emotionally. With each exhale, just let it go. Feel free to make that sound with your exhale as well. Really letting go. And then inhale, drawing the breath back in. Take your time. Exhale, release. As you come through center, let's take a pause, and we'll just gently peek over right side, allow hips to fall to left, and then we begin rocking side to side. Try to match that breath. Inhale one side, exhale to the other. We'll start to slow it down. We'll come back through neutral. Imagine that glass of water resting. We'll lift the head so the neck is nice and long. And just reaching a little bit forward with both hands, we'll start to send some weight into the hands as we shift the left knee to center. Let's kick out with the right. We'll plug the toes, and we start to kind of forward and rock, forward and back rock. So we'll open the wrists and then reach deep into the arches of the feet. So options to be on elbows. It's always there, even using the blocks. And then as you're ready, knees can find each other. We'll shift that weight. We'll reach out with opposite leg. And then we continue rocking and opening. Good. Keep tuning the breath as we inhale and exhale. Knees come together when you're ready. Small baby child's pose, release those hips. Knees can come wide or stay together. Spread the fingers, and then we'll slowly roll through our cat spine again. Let's bring the knees nice and wide, toes together. We'll start to thread the right arm underneath. We'll drop the shoulder, the right ear, and we'll start to walk the left fingertips overhead. Start to peek underneath the left shoulder, rotate the ribs, lift those hips. And then invite the breath in, inhaling and exhaling. Slowly releasing, left palm comes back to the eyes. We'll root nice and deep so we feel steady. We can press into left hands so we can shift that weight into the right side. We can kick the left leg back. So this might be too much, so you don't have to go here to stay with both knees on floor. But these are just options to go a little deeper. Invite the belly breath into practice. If you'd like to play with balance a little bit more, we'll sweep left arm around to connect to hips, to low back, maybe tucking fingertips into the hip crease. And then even rotating the neck a bit deeper, tuck the chin into shoulder as we practiced earlier. Invite the belly breathing in. Maybe close the eyes or keep them on the ceiling, the side wall. It's okay if you tip over, just come back. And then when you're ready, unwind yourself. Nice and slow with control. Left palm finds floor. Let's press up. And we'll start to come over to opposite side. Again, the knees nice and wide. We'll just start to slowly unwind. We'll tuck the hand, release the head and shoulder. And before we start to twist and balance, we'll just walk the fingertips overhead. Let's peek underneath the shoulders. Think about walking the fingers as far behind the head as you can. Press deep into that left palm on the floor. Use those exhales. One more nice deep inhale, and then we'll slowly draw the right palm back to eyes. Let's plug this palm into the floor. We'll send the right leg back. Plug the toes in. Use the belly breath. And then if you'd like, we can go deeper by wrapping the arm and just connecting where is available. Think about reaching through that heel of the right side. You can engage the thigh. And then find that breath. We'll slowly unwind ourselves. Hands find the floor. And then we start to come back to our tabletop. Let's keep the knees nice and wide. We're just going to slowly send the hips forward. We can even walk those hands and bend into elbows. Release the hips, open the heart. Big opening of the front of the neck. Exhale, let's roll it back through the cat spine. Find your child's pose just for a breath. And then inhale, cat spine, send hips forward. Engage glutes to protect any low back pain. Open, and then closing, sending hips back. So a few more rounds. Find a pace that feels good. You can always go faster. You can always go slower. Tune into body and breath. Letting go of the day with each exhale. We have one more cycle of pressing back, and as we start to roll it forward this time, we're going to fully release the upper body. Let's bring the knees in. And we'll start to reach the fingertips forward. So like we did before, we'll plug the fingertips in and teepee the palms and just release the forehead. Roll the shoulders back so shoulder blades are nice and flat. And then we think about tucking the pelvis, engage the glutes, and zip up the thighs. So we're kind of engaging the low half, engaging the upper half. And then we'll slowly start to lift opposite arm and leg. And then come back down to floor. You can always lift the head too if you want to see where you are, if it's better for your coordination to have a focus spot on the floor. And just think about inhale, lift, exhale, release. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. Just find that rhythm. Good. Tuck the pelvis. And then we may begin to pick up the pace. So you might want to lift your head a little if you are going faster. You don't need to if it feels better to go a little slower. But we just start to breathe a little faster, lift a little faster. Inhale, strengthening back side of body. Good, last two here. And we'll slowly release. Let's just let go of the body. We're going to inhale the palms back to the heart center. Roll the shoulders. Draw the elbows deep into rib cage. We're going to walk the feet together. Zip up the inner thighs. So we'll start to move into our cobras. So tuck the pelvis, engage the glutes, and start to roll the shoulders, lift through the crown. Inhale, lift, exhale, slow release. And so each time we'll just release the opposite ear. Keep the low body engaged. Inhale, lift. Exhale, opposite ear will find the floor. So we're rotating into the neck as well. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Just one more round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. As we lift this next time, we start to just lift a little higher. Let's really tuck the elbows in. We'll press through the palms, really squeeze low body. And then we might gaze towards the ceiling if that's available. Exhale, let's let go. Find the ear on the floor. And whichever shoulder you're peeking over, same side hand reaches back, same side knee bends. We'll reach to connect into ankle or pant leg or toes. An option to use the strap as well if you need a little extra length. Good, so we'll pull that heel into the glute. We'll kind of press that same side hip flexor into floor, that sensation of tucking the pelvis. And then let's release the tuck of the pelvis. We're just going to kick the foot into that hand. Think about right shoulder rolls back. And then inhale, let's release. We're just going to pull heel back into glute. Exhale, let's kick. So we come in and out of this space a few rounds. See how it feels. Create the tension, create the space. And then with that left hand tucked on left side, we're going to slowly press. The next time we kick, we'll press into left hand, maybe even drop the elbow, and we start to lift a little higher. And then we can come in and out of this space. So feel free to kind of adjust that hand so you feel supported. So you're not relying too much on the low back. Use the hand, the breath, and we start to open and close, rolling the shoulder. So you can reach on the outside or the inside. And just one more nice lift. Exhale, slow release. We're going to shift over to opposite side. I'm just going to turn around. And then we'll grab a hold of that other side. Release the ear, peek over shoulder. And first we just find that opening. We'll draw the heel into glute. As if we're tucking the pelvis, open the front side of the leg. And then staying here with the rest of the body, we just start to kick the foot into the hand. Create a little tension. Feel that shoulder rolling. So we're going to start really slow and low, and then we'll gently make our way to a little bit higher. So we come in and out of this space, creating the length, the strength. Then as you're ready, that right palm can root into the side. And then we'll kind of come in and out of this space a little bit higher. Maybe the elbow. The elbow feels a little better for me. And play with maybe holding on with the inside of the foot to really rotate the shoulder. If it feels better on the outside, that's okay too. And we just think about opening and closing. Again, if this is not available, just make it small. Go to where you can. There's no need to go any deeper than is comfortable for your body. And just one more nice lift. We'll slowly release. Let's find the floor. We're going to reach the hands nice and wide, fingertips spread, palms are flat, chin on the floor. Knees are wide and bending into knees. We start to send those heels side to side rocking. Inhale, relax eyebrows. Exhale. Find that flow. As we find stillness, keep the knees bent. We're going to extend the left leg straight. Let's press into palms and then push that right leg back around the body so we can open into the right side. So you might connect to floor. Maybe you're hovering in the air. Just see what feels good. Keep using the breath, sending through the body. Big inhale, fill belly. Exhale, release. So when you're ready, press through palms. We'll reconnect the hips. And then we come over to opposite. And just kind of explore this space. Maybe it doesn't feel good for you, so maybe you skip this one. If it does feel okay, just go as deep as you can, bending the knee, reaching the leg. Feeling a very deep opening in the front side of the body. Nice deep breath. As you're ready, we'll gently unwind, we'll reconnect. Let's release the legs, zip up the thighs, palms back to heart, elbows drive deep. And then we'll slowly start to reverse that push-up. We're going to send the hips back, knees as wide as they can, toes together. Sit on down in that child's pose. We can even rock side to side and wrap the arms around the hips so we can get a little bit more sensation into the spine and the low back, releasing. As we find that stillness, we'll take a breath. Inhale, palms sweep back to temples. We'll press the palms, roll the spine. We start to stack into seated. We're going to reach the hands forward, tuck the toes, sending weight back into heels. And we'll start to lift the torso so we can stand tall. Again, just stay as long as you can. Come on out when you need to. We'll start to sweep those arms. And then exhale, palms, find the heart, releasing. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, release. We have one more sweep. This time, fingertips stay at ceiling. Exhale, let's release the right arm. We'll kind of glue the elbows, wrap the wrists. And so maybe we just hug, or maybe we find that bind. And from this space, we'll start to open. Inhale. Exhale, dive it forward, round into the spine. And then find the rhythm again. Inhale, open. Big exhale, slow release. Good. Inhale, open. Exhale, release. As we open this next time, let's just unwind ourselves. We'll sweep the arms. And then opposite side tucks under. We'll glue the elbows. We can either give ourselves a nice deep hug or wrap wrists if that's available. And then opening, lifting. Exhale, driving it in. Releasing the body forward. And inhale, opening. Again, if this is too much on the feet, feel free to untuck anytime. And try to stay there a little bit longer. Opening the arches. Good. Use that breath. Inhale, fill. Exhale, let it go. One more nice deep lift. And then we'll slowly start to release elbows back to heart. Let's sweep it around one more time. Opening. Exhale, palms find each other. We'll come back into tabletop, rooting wrists and knees. And let's start to drive the left knee into center. We'll keep the right hand stacked, so maybe tucking it in a bit so we can start to lift opposite sides. Rounding into cat spine, tuck the chin. Inhale, reach through fingertips and toes. And then drive it in as you exhale. Inhale, opening. Good. Exhale, releasing. So we're just playing with breath and balance and coordination. Just be patient with your body tonight. See what's coming up. Options for elbows, opening, closing, options for blocks. Good. As we extend our next round, we'll just take a pause. Think about the right hip drops a little bit, nice flat back. We're slowly going to pulse arm and leg. Lifting, lowering, match the breath. Inhale, exhale. If the wrist is tired, come onto fist. Maybe use the elbow. Try not to hold the breath. If you are, just come right back to exhale. And then we take a pause. We'll bend into back knee. And we're just going to sweep it around. So maybe we can connect, maybe we don't. Whatever's there, go in that space. You can grab onto pant leg. If you have the foot, think about kicking. Kind of like when we are on the belly. Kick the foot into hand. Maybe lift eyes to ceiling. Use the belly breath. Slowly, slowly exhale. Knees together, small child's pose just for a breath. Roll it forward, cat spine. Stack again, opposite knee and hands start to root. And then we find that flow. Inhale, open. Good. Exhale, release. Inhale, open. Exhale, release. Maybe coming back to counted breath so we can really slow the breath down. It becomes more challenging as we move faster in the body. So just little reminders to keep coming back. Inhale, counting. Exhale, counting. Filling body. Releasing breath. Last round as we extend and tuck. And as we lift one more time, fingertips and toes. Let's find that tabletop. Use the fist if you need to and the elbow. Drop that left side of hip. And then we start to just pulse it up. So it doesn't have to be huge, it doesn't have to be fast. We just make sure it feels good and supportive, a little challenging, of course. Use the breath, send it through the body, a little more heat. Good, take your breaks when you need them. So we're going to take a pause, we'll kick and bend that back knee, and then as we did before, we'll sweep it around and just connect where you can. If you're not connecting, just think about maybe lifting the leg a bit higher. Find a challenge spot. If you have the foot, kick the foot deep into hand, open, roll shoulder, eyes to ceiling. And then gently exhale, release those knees as wide as you can. We'll bring toes together, drop into child's pose, release into the forehead. Good, as we inhale, we'll roll through our cat spine. Let's just walk the fingertips gently together. We're going to tuck our toes and start to lift those hips, downward facing dog. So pedal through the knees. Again, always in this, every position, you can use the elbows. So if the wrists are tired, if the shoulders don't like that space, use the blocks, use the elbows. Kind of wag into those hips. Let go of that tension. Release the back of the neck. And then as we find stillness, we'll bring the feet hip width apart, spread the toes, spread the fingers. Let's just reach deeper through the heels and then reach the heart towards the floor, towards the toes. Find your deep breath, going a little bit outside that comfort zone, opening the backside of body. And then as we inhale, we're going to slowly roll it forward, find your high plank. So options to drop a knee, drop two knees if you need, and then send it back. Hips find ceiling, open hamstrings. Inhale, roll cat spine, shift forward, high plank. Maybe engage thighs, maybe drop those knees. Send it back, lift the hips. So just a few more rounds, take your time. Feel this entire spine rolling through the air. Feel free to use the elbows. You can come onto elbows and knees if you need. Spread the fingers, use that breath, soften the eyes. We're going to lift those hips one more time. Take your time getting there. And then shift left foot into floor. We're going to send the weight over to left foot, really engage the thigh as we inhale the right side. Bend into that knee, drop the heel, open that hip to sidewall. And we're just going to roll this leg around. Again, come onto elbows if this is too much. We're just painting the kneecap around the room. We'll find stillness in right leg. As we exhale, we're going to sweep this right knee all the way forward to come into a low lunge. So however you need to get there, maybe it's one sweep, maybe you drop that left knee, take a few steps to get yourself into that space. We may even use the blocks in this one to help lift the chest a bit, if you need. And then we just start to open up the side. And then if your knee is kind of forward, let's start to walk the foot so the knee's behind the toe. And then so maybe the use of the blocks will help kind of get into that space if this is too much. And with or without the blocks, where'd mine go? We're going to draw the hands to the inside. So we'll start to just walk hands inside. We can even untuck the back toe. So big opening, left side hip flexor, rock side to side. If this tall position is too much, come a little shorter. Feel really steady. And then we're going to slowly heel toe right foot out to edge of mat. Let's see if that's available. Maybe even rolling ankle onto pinky side of foot. Big opening on the inner thigh. And then we start to go deeper. So maybe the deeper space is not available for you, so just stay on the hands. Or you can play with the support of the blocks a little bit higher. Just make sure you feel steady. Protect those shoulders, release the back of neck. And then we might rock into the side, left and right rocking. As we find stillness, we'll gently place those palms back on blocks. Let's heel toe back into space, so underneath the knee. And then we'll power up back leg to help lift hands to top of knee. roll shoulders, lift tall, start to come a little bit higher, and then we'll just come in and out of this space. So if you need a little padding, use the blanket. And if you need those blocks, use those blocks. So next round, we're going to send hips all the way back and then drop the fingertips forward. So again, maybe blocks, maybe just fingertips rooting. Release, back of neck, point into that toe, and then feel into the back of the right leg. Good. We'll start to inhale, shift it forward. Maybe take those blocks with you. So we're going to unwind to head over to opposite side. So I like to just tuck my toe and sweep my way through. Other options are to draw the knees together, walk yourself back, root into toes, and then press through. So whatever feels better. Good, opening back of legs. Let's root the right leg into floor. We'll engage that right side. Inhale, the left leg lifts to ceiling. Open side, we'll drop that heel. A little more weight into left shoulder. Reach the heart towards toes. Find that breath. Inhale and exhale. Spread the toes, spread the fingers. And as we did on the other side, let's just paint this knee around the room. Keep the knee bent. Roll and open that hip. Options for elbows. Inhaling, exhaling. And then when you're ready, we start to sweep this knee all the way forward. So take your time. Maybe it's one sweep. Maybe you start to just drop that knee and walk yourself in. And then, as always, knee behind toe is preferable. Use those blocks if you need a little height. Roll the shoulders. And then we'll draw it inside. So we can rock side to side. And just feel into this space. And sorry, we'll walk the toe out as well. Get a little bit wider. Maybe roll the ankle onto the pinky side. And then feel into this inner thigh. When you're ready, we can go a little deeper. Find the elbows, release the back of the neck. And again, you can keep rocking or just find the stillness. Use the breath to let go a little bit. Good. Keep sending breath from mouth through body, into toes, into thighs. And then we'll start to unwind ourselves. We'll root that foot back in. We'll spread the toes. We'll plant the palms and start to lift the body weight. Use the strength of this back leg engaged to help get you up. We'll walk the foot in. And then we'll start to lift hands to top of knee. Use the blocks if you need, and then start to lift really tall. Exhale, sweep it forward. So just kind of in and out. Rolling nice and tall. Exhale, releasing. And then the next time we start to lift and lengthen, let's just send the hips back. We'll open the back of that left knee and we'll dive it forward. We can point and flex into this space. Feel free to use the blocks. Release the back of neck. And just tune into that breath. And as you're slowly ready, we'll just unwind. We'll send it forward. So whatever feels comfortable to unwind, you can sweep through your high plank, come into your down dog, or bring those knees together. Tuck the toes, press into hands, pedal through just a couple rounds. And then we start to find those feet hip width apart. We're going to gently walk the hands back to find the toes. So we find ourselves forward folding. We'll release the neck. Let's wrap the fingers around the elbows. Start to sway side to side. Inhale one side, exhale to the other. And as we take a pause, find your stillness. We're going to drop the left hand to floor. Option to use block for extra height. Bend that left knee as well and start to sweep the body around the right side. Stack the shoulders, lots of length between the ear and the shoulder. We might gaze at the fingertips. Think about powering up this straight right leg. So really engage and hold yourself into place. Open and dive into this left side. As you're ready, forward fold, unwind it through center, bent knees, switch on over. So right knee bends, we'll root into the right hand. And then think about powering up left stability. Stack the spine, stack the shoulders. Find the eyes at the ceiling or the side wall. Keep drawing that breath in. And then we'll slowly release all the way down. Let's root deep into the feet, and then we'll roll to standing. So we'll just take our time, gently rooting into those feet. And then we find ourselves on our mat. We'll sweep the arms. We'll exhale back into the heart. And again, we'll inhale, sweeping. Exhale. Let's reverse that swan dive. So we'll dive it forward. We're going to slowly make our way onto sit bones. So you can kind of find the floor first, bend into knees, and just send yourself however feels best. And we'll start to extend through the legs, maybe scooch a bit forward so we have room to release. Let's just match our arms, and we start to, with control, gently release the body. Always feel free to hang on, use the hands if you need to. Just see how low you can go without any support. And then we release the whole body, reaching overhead, full body stretch, fingers and toes. Exhale, sweeping hands back, knees draw into heart center. Nice big hug. And we think about rocking side to side, lengthen the back of the neck. And as we find that stillness, let's start to release the heels, hip width apart. We'll tuck the shoulders, palms nice and flat, sides of hips. And we start to just lift into our half bridges, just a few before we start to find some stillness. So we tuck the pelvis, engage the glutes, press deep into heels, knees draw in, and we start to lift the spine. Exhale, reconnect nice and slow, rounding the spine and then releasing. And then again, we start to lift and tuck and come into those half bridges. So notice here where the face and the jaw and the shoulders want to tense up. So keep relaxing the upper body. Allow the lower body to do the work. A few rounds. Slowing the breath down. We're going to come in one more time. Take your time getting there. So as we release the low back, we'll tuck the glutes, we'll lift the pelvis. Let's hang out in that high bridge. We're going to roll the shoulders under, fingertips walk towards each other. We might connect, interlacing. Really lengthen the spine, the neck. Try not to move the neck in this space. Just find a spot on the ceiling to gaze at. Press deeper into the heels. Draw the inner thighs together. Maybe press deeper into the pinky fingers, the wrists. And try not to hold the breath here. Open the neck. Send those inhales and exhales. And then when you're ready, we just gently unwind. Take your time. Fingertips release, shoulders unwind. And then with control, rolling the spine back in. Knees come back into heart center. Nice deep hug. Side to side rocking. And we might even just keep the hands on the knees. Send the knees away. Draw them back as if we're kind of stirring the hips. Inhale, pull in, exhale, release. Letting go of that tension. And then opposite direction. Inhale and then exhale. So we'll start to slow it down. We'll release those heels. We'll start to extend the legs. We'll come into our Shavasana. If you have any other postures you want to get in today before we find stillness, feel free to go into those spaces. Maybe you'd like to do a happy baby. Maybe you have a pigeon calling your name. Maybe you need to do your shoulder stand tonight. So feel free to keep moving. Make sure you feel nice and released. If you are ready to find that stillness, we'll allow the palms to face the ceiling, the toes to splay out. Just think about the heaviness of the body. We might put on any layers if you need them. And I'll just be walking around with our eye pillows and blankets. So we can take this time to tune back into breath. Drawing the breath in through the nose, filling the belly space. Exhale, releasing. We can bring our awareness to the crown of the head and start sending that breath through the forehead and the eyebrows. Just start to slow it down again. Continuing that nice deep breath. Sending breath from the mouth all the way through. Taking inventory of the body. Just noticing the shoulders and the heart. Continue sending that breath through the rib cage, around the torso, into the belly. Just wrapping breath around the hips, finding the spine, drawing the breath up and down. Moving that awareness again to the hips and the pelvis. Wrapping that breath around the thighs, over the knees, behind the knees, through the calves. Making your way through ankles and toes. As we gently find our next exhale, we can begin to move into the physical body once again. Coming back into our yoga space, bringing movement into fingers, into toes, rotating wrists and ankles, releasing tension in the face, opening the mouth, releasing the tongue, and just slowly releasing. It might feel comfortable to reach the arms overhead. Come into that full body stretch again. Reach through the fingers and the toes. Keep filling belly space as we inhale. Big exhales. Just taking our time tonight as we begin to transition, rolling over to one side. We find our way onto the floor. And just take a few breaths here. There's no rush to come out. Take your time. Bring those blankets with you. Allow those pillows to fall. We just slowly take our time, using the hands to support the body weight, pressing ourselves away from the floor. We come back into seated space, whatever feels comfortable in your body. We think about refreshing the spine, tuning back into that breath, inhaling nose, fill belly, exhale, releasing. Let's roll the shoulders just a few times. And as we release those shoulders, we'll release the hands, we'll sweep around, gaze towards the ceiling, palms find each other. And we allow the palms to find the heart. Let's close the eyes one last time. Let me just take a moment to acknowledge this practice, acknowledge this evening together, this new space we've created for ourselves. As we find gratefulness for our health tonight, for our movement, this beautiful life we have. As we inhale, we'll draw the thumbs into forehead, release shoulders away from ears. We begin to close our practice. We bow to each other. Namaste. Thank you all so much for practicing. So good to see you and have you here and share the space. I hope you guys can continue practicing at home and have a wonderful week to come.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Take your time. You might have some tea coming.